everyone, Dark Ramos here with the Volume Profile Nerd, here to do the morning prep / rundown for Thursday, June 1st, 2023. And I'll quickly start off, I'll start off by saying, starting off with data. We do have a lot of data today, 8:30 a.m. Eastern, which is already over. And we have data at 9:45 and at 10. And then we have the natural gas report and the oil report, I believe, at 10:30 and 11. So I'll be paying attention to 9:45 and 10 for data at that time. So the first thing I noticed on the morning with both ES and NQ is that we're within yesterday's range and we're within yesterday's value, which gives little indication for early trade. And same thing with NQ, we're in yesterday's range and value. And overnight inventory is fairly balanced on both indices around the PDC. Better trades likely to set up later in the day, maybe after data has been released. So just keeping an eye on that. So I'll go over the goal for buyers and sellers. So goal for buyers on ES is to stay above the open and find acceptance above the PDC and POC here, to then try for the value area high here, to try to build value higher. And after the value area high, they would want over the overnight high and regular trading hours high to try, for higher value. And any failures at any of these points, and we could be looking at the previous points. So failure at the VAH, maybe back to the POC. And if failure at the regular trading hours high or overnight high, maybe back to the value area high. Failure at the value area high, maybe back to the POC. So, and if multiple, there's the possibility of a rotational day if we stay within yesterday's range and value. So multiple passes through the open could be suggestive of that. And just given bigger picture context, I'm thinking buyers and sellers are trying to decide if they want to set a quick daily higher low or if we want to see more consolidation. And given that we have data at 9:45 and 10, I think that might be a determining factor or might sway something in either direction. So I think that'll be pretty key this morning. So we might have a slow morning prior to data. So just going to keep that in mind. So goal for sellers is to stay below the open and stay below this POC, to try to build value lower, to try for overlapping to lower value. So sellers want to stay below the POC and PDC and then target the value area low and the overnight low, which are very close together. And if acceptance below the overnight low and value area low, eyes on the regular trading hours low. So no change for day plus sellers without getting below the regular trading hours low. And I think I mentioned this, no change for day plus buyers without getting over the regular trading hours high. Any failures at these points, so failure at the PDC, maybe back at the POC, failure at the overnight low or value area low, back to the previous day close, and failure at the regular trading hours low, maybe back to the overnight low / value area low. So that's ES, fairly similar on NQ. We're just at the POC, whereas ES is slightly below it. So NQ, I would say, is slightly stronger this morning. So goal for buyers is to stay above the open and find acceptance above the PDC, previous day close, and POC to tag the overnight high. And if acceptance above the overnight high, we have the value area high right above. And if acceptance above yesterday's value, above this value area high, eyes on the regular trading hours high here. No change for day plus buyers without getting acceptance above the regular trading hours high. A key upside reference for both ES and NQ will be this value area high. Sellers definitely want to hold this to negate buyers from building value higher. On ES, that's 4,275, and NQ, that is 14,344.50. And the POC will be a key reference here. Well, we're below it now, so I would say the value area low is a key downside reference for buyers to try and hold. For ES, that is 4,18225, and again, that coincides with the overnight low. And for NQ, that is 14,275.50, right down here. All right, so goal for sellers is to stay below the open and stay below the previous day close / POC to try to build value to try for overlapping to lower value. And if acceptance below this, sellers should be trying for the value area low, which we're trying here in pre-market. And yeah, if acceptance below the value area low, eyes on the regular trading hours low / overnight low, since they're fairly close to each other. Any failures at these points, failure at the value area low, we could be back at the POC / PDC. Failure at the regular trading hours low / overnight low, we could be back to the value area low. So yeah, no change for day plus sellers without getting below the overnight low, as we made a new low in the overnight session, and cash market sellers want to affirm overnight sellers for more conviction that we could press the issue to the downside. So sellers want below the value area low to try for lower value, and then below the regular trading hours low and overnight low. Buyers want above the value area high to build value higher, and then get above the regular trading hours high. So I think I mentioned this, but no change for day plus buyers without getting above the regular trading hours high. I'm going to be paying attention at the open. If multiple passes through the open on either indices or on both, could be suggestive of an indecision morning or a low conviction morning, and that'll just mean to be a bit more patient for plays to set up later in the day. So let's go on the daily for ES. So ES is below the value area low of the 729.22, 810.22 range. Goal for sellers should be to tag this POC at 417.975. We didn't quite tag the POC or the value or the POC. Yeah, this POC up here or this POC down here. So it'll be notable which way buyers and sellers go, whether we tag this first or whether we tag this first. So I'll be keeping an eye on that. If no acceptance above this value area low, sellers should be looking for this POC down here. If acceptance above this value area low, buyers should be looking for this POC up here. Okay, and on NQ for the dailies, similar setup to what I just mentioned with ES. We're right below the value area low of this 411, 421 range, and if buyers can't get acceptance back into this range, I'm keeping an eye on this value area high of this 316.22 range at roughly 1498, and that would mean we're getting more convincingly into Friday's candle. If sellers can't find acceptance below this value area low here, and buyers find acceptance back into this range, eyes on this POC here at roughly 14,362.50, and if acceptance above this POC, eyes on the value area high at 14,578.75, which would mean buyers are setting a quick daily higher low. So to me, it's either we get a quick daily higher low, or sellers look for more consolidation to maybe try to get back into Friday's candle and fill this bit of gap here between the daily ranges. We do have 1 minute ranges in between then, so I'll be keeping an eye on that. ES is already more than halfway, I'd say, into Friday's candle, showing that NQ is the relatively stronger sector. Okay, so let's go quickly to the hourlies. I'll try to make this quick so I can do a quick rundown of the sectors and tech. So let's go to ES here. So ES is, we have this 519, 522 range right up here, and buyers would want acceptance above this little range to clearly get above the overnight high and regular trading hours high, and sellers want convincingly under this POC here to start getting under yesterday's value and head towards this value area low here of this 428.5223 range, and sellers, day plus sellers, want to get back into this range, this 517, 518 range, to get below the regular trading hours low. So if we hold this POC here of this hourly range, that means that sellers aren't getting convincingly back below yesterday's value area low or the overnight low. And if we get above the value area high of this range, that means we're getting above the POC of yesterday, and buyers should be looking back at this POC here, which is just below the regular trading hours high and the overnight high. So Buyers do want acceptance above this and then acceptance above this value area high, and then try for this range, the POC of this range, or at least the value area low, to convincingly go on the offensive. And sellers want back into this range to go more on the offensive. Anything less than that, we could just be in between these two ranges here. Okay, on NQ, we'll do the similar idea. And grab the day time frame references. Okay, so on NQ, wow, most of the day time frame references are within this hourly range, which was very contentious in yesterday's session. We just oscillated around this POC, and that's where most of the value is. So we have the regular trading hours low, overnight low, right down here. The POC of yesterday was around the POC of that hourly range. So essentially, buyers want above this value area high of this hourly range to get above the value area high of yesterday and the overnight high. So this will be key. And sellers want below this POC here to head towards the value area low, and then the regular trading hours low and overnight low. So if sellers get to this value area low here, we're getting a bit more convincingly under the regular trading hours low and overnight low, which is what sellers want to see. Buyers want to get above the value area high of the hourly range to get above the overnight high and value area high, to convincingly get above yesterday's value. And then buyers want to tag this POC to convincingly get above the regular trading hours high. So if we don't get back into this hourly range, we won't really get to the regular trading hours high. So that'll be notable if buyers can't get there. So buyers would need to get back into this range, so above this value area low, to try to tag this POC to go more on the offensive and get above the regular trading hours high. So this hourly range will be key. Either buyers look to get to the value area high and press the issue, or sellers look to get to the value area low and press the issue. Buyers would need to get above the value area high, then above this value area low, and then this POC to go more on the offensive. Anything less than that, and if we could just have oscillation around the POC or do something like this. It could happen many different ways, but we know for me it's this value area high here at 14.34575, and this value area low here at 14.22275, and just gonna match it up with some hourlies. So if we get to this value area high, I'm thinking buyers, essentially if sellers can't get below this hourly POC, it could mean that buyers are finding acceptance back into this 411, 421, 22 range, and we could head to the POC right up here, which is just above the value area high of this hourly range. So there could be some contention there. But then buyers would want to break above this POC to head to the value area high here. First they'd have to get through, this hourly range. But, if we get above this value area high or back into this range, it could mean that buyers are finding acceptance above this POC. And buyers, I think the next target would be this POC up here of the 419, 421 range, 22 at 14.43975. So that's what I'll be keeping an eye out for today. Might be a bit patient waiting for data at 9:45 and 10. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at today. Again, sellers want down here and buyers want above this. To get above yesterday's value to then try for this. If sellers get below this, eyes on this value area high from 421, 422.22 at roughly 14.121.50. Okay, so that's what I got for this morning for the different scenarios. Let's quickly go through tech or the sectors in tech. ES in the middle of the road. We're in kind of a daily range here. Sellers should be looking for this value area low here at roughly 415.08, or it could be the value area high of a range. And buyers are looking for this POC at 420.70. QQQ, We're in between two daily ranges, so sellers should be looking for this value area high at roughly 345.90. We're closer to there than this value area high here, so wouldn't be surprised if sellers try for that first. And yeah, and we're closer to the low of yesterday, but we'll be keeping an eye on this kind of gap here between these daily ranges to see how it resolves. XLF is below a daily range, so the next daily range, I don't even have it drawn up, but XLF is a bit stronger, closer to its high of yesterday. And let me draw up this daily range here, have a cluster of price action. I would say I'll grab all this here. Yeah. Or maybe all this. So I'm thinking we want to head to the value area low here of this kind of cluster of price action. So yeah. So I'm thinking that's where sellers want to get to. Yeah, we didn't have any meaningful trend changes on the way up. So maybe sellers try for 31.39 down here. So we'll see. IWM, or either that or sellers don't find acceptance under this daily range and we get back into it to head to the POC here at 32.34. IWM, kind of in the middle of the road. We're right above this POC of this daily range. If buyers hold this, eyes on the value area high at roughly 177.40, 177.41. If sellers get below this POC, eyes on the value area low at 172.24 roughly. Okay, XLE, also kind of in the middle of the road. We are holding this daily value area low. Maybe sellers try one more attempt there, and we're below this POC. So sellers might look for this value area low here at 76.20. If acceptance back above this POC, eyes on the value area high at 79.32 roughly. Okay. Yeah, but XLE is kind of in the middle of the road. XBI is above this POC. I'm thinking buyers should be looking to this value area high here at 84.92-ish, 91. And we're kind of in the middle of the road, but I'm thinking buyers want to tag this up here. If not, we could be looking at the value area low here at roughly 83.66. XLV, the stronger sector after being, I think, the weaker. XLV was the stronger sector yesterday, and it's currently right around its high of yesterday. Buyers did find acceptance above this POC and trying to find acceptance above this daily value area high. If acceptance above this, buyers could be looking at 130.85 as the next daily level up here. If we can hold above this daily value area high here at roughly 127.82, buyers could be looking for 130.85. XLU, testing its high of yesterday, and yeah, back into this daily range here. So I'm thinking buyers could be looking for this POC at roughly 65.92. Maybe we backtest this value area low at roughly 64.99 to then try to get to this POC at 65.92. SMH, we're still below this daily value area low. So sellers could still be trying for this daily value area high here from a previous range at 140.59. So yeah, if we can't get acceptance back into this daily range, sellers should be looking for that 140.59 level. And how we get there could be telling. I mean, we could do something like this again, or sellers just try for it right away. Okay, those are the sectors, and SMH is the relatively weaker sector, being closer to its low of yesterday. All right, so yeah, it looks like QQQ is slightly weaker in the morning. No, Previous day close. No, they're about the same at the moment. All right, I'll quickly go through tech. So tech, Apple, closer to its low of yesterday, above this daily POC. Buyers want this value area high here at roughly 179.09. If below this POC, eyes on the value area low here at 174-ish, right down here. Amazon, kind of in the middle of the road in between these two daily ranges. Buyers should be looking for the value area high here, close to the high of yesterday at roughly 122.08. And sellers should be looking for the value area high of this daily range at 118.25. But we are in the middle of this kind of daily gap, so it'll be notable how it resolves. Okay, Netflix. Netflix is below this daily range. We're bumping up right up against it here in pre-market. Buyers want acceptance back into this, and sellers want to tag the value area high here of this range at roughly 383.33. And we are Netflix relatively stronger, being closer to the high of yesterday. So that is notable, but we'll see if buyers can find acceptance back into this range. That could be a good setup if initially we don't find acceptance back into this daily range up here. Google, kind of in the middle of these two daily ranges, and buyers should be looking for this value area high here at 125.17. Sellers should be looking for the value area high of this range at 122.33. But slightly closer to the low of yesterday, but not by much. So just in between these daily ranges here. Microsoft, closer to the low of yesterday. Sellers should be looking for the value area low here at 322.35. Buyers maybe try and attempt at this POC, 335.02. But I'm thinking sellers want down here at 32.35 roughly. And we are closer to the low of yesterday, with Microsoft being one of the weaker tech names. Meta, one of the stronger tech names this morning, above this daily range and with a gap up. I'm thinking buyers want this value area high here at 279.15-ish, around there, which is quite a ways away. That's about, what's the percentage? That's roughly 4.8%, 4.7, 4.8%. If buyers can do that, that'll be pretty notable. But if buyers can't get acceptance above this daily value area high, eyes back on the POC. And if below this POC, eyes on the value area low here, close to the low of yesterday at around 258.70. Tesla, relatively stronger tech name, being closer to its high of yesterday. We are above this daily range, so I'm thinking buyers want this. I think it's a value area high from a recent daily range. Yes, it is, from all of this here. So buyers should be looking for that value area high at 206.56. Notable if we don't get there, and if sellers get back into this range, eyes on the value area high 197.99, then the POC at roughly 195.87, and then we have the value area low at 190.15, around there. If we get above this, I'll have to draw up some other ranges to see where buyers could be looking to get to next. And looking at it now, it's a nice range right here. So I'll draw that up. Right there. Okay, so if we get above this value area high, eyes on this value area low of this daily range at 212.50. Okay, NVDA, so holding that range that I drew from regular trading hours, it'll be notable if we do get above this POC at roughly 383.94, which we're not above it yet here in pre-market. So that'll be a key level for buyers. We are closer to the low of yesterday, but this will be a key level for buyers. If we can get convincingly above it to then back test it, maybe to head to the value area high here of that range at 388.53, we could continue to press the issue here for NVDA buyers. to maybe try and tag the high of yesterday. But that's yet to be seen. If sellers find acceptance below this, again, we could be getting more convincingly into the earnings reaction, which is not what buyers would want to see, as we didn't establish a lot of supports on the way up. And we could head back to this daily value area high here at 330.68. Okay, so this range will be key for me this morning on NVDA. All right, so that's what I got for this morning. For me, it's going to be SMH and NVDA to kind of gauge strength on the sectors. Apple and Amazon fairly close to the middle of their range. Apple a little bit closer to the low of yesterday, so we'll see how that plays out. But yeah, I should check maybe the dollar a little bit too. Dollar, yeah, if it breaks the low of yesterday convincingly, we could start daily consolidation a bit more convincingly here on the dollar. I think the dollar is due for, yeah, it could be due for some weekly consolidation. We shall see. But yeah, got a lot to think about or to look at. So this daily range on NQ will be key to see if buyers can find acceptance back into it. Same for ES, see if buyers can find acceptance back into it here. All right, so gonna practice patience today and only limit orders and just let trades come to me. All right, thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you in the trade review later today. Thank you.